So it's important to establish the original language of the Scriptures, as we have the original Tab Ashrit or Aramaic, the Shana Atik Saprea, and the Tab Ivri, the original ancient Hebrew, and the Koine Greek, the original ancient, very old, long dead Koine Greek. It's important to learn Aramaic, but it's even more important to think in Aramaic. Different languages have different psyches or mindsets, overtones and resonances, and even idioms, even in synonymous expressions, i.e. idioms, if that's what they're getting at. What evidence do we have of an Aramaic original? Contradictions, word plays, mistranslations, syntax, polysemy, parallelisms. Bit of a tongue twister there. Example of a contradiction. Who named the child? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin will conceive and bear a son, and she will call his name Emmanuel. Isaiah 7:14. Greek Gospels. Matthew 1:21. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. So it's saying not to or about Mary, really. It's saying she. Well, that indicates Mary, doesn't it? And you, or the people out there, shall call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. So it's a different translation, isn't it? Transliteration. So that's considered a contradiction, because it doesn't resonate with this one, right? The ancient with the modern. Another example, Luke 1:31. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall name him Jesus. The Aramaic solution, and she will call, and this we believe might be the Syriac. In the Aramaic original of Matthew 1:21, doesn't look like a Syriac font, but maybe that is the original Aramaic. In the Aramaic original of Matthew 1:21, the verb call, tekara, is in a form that can be either second person masculine or third person feminine. It is Mary who named the child. The Peshitta solves the contradiction in the Greek version. Okay, so that Peshitta solves that problem, or that contradiction, which is in the Greek version. It's a more modern Greek, a Greek vernacular, probably not the Koine Greek, the original ancient Koine Greek. Perhaps. Okay, continuing, what evidence do we have of an Aramaic original? It goes into the word plays. Examples of word plays. Luke 7:41-42. 2 men owed money to a certain debtor. One owed him 500 silver pieces and the other 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back, so he cancelled the debts of both. Now which of them will love him more? Debt equals koba, love equals kuba. That's probably what it means in the Syriac or the Aramaic. John 8:34. Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who commits a sin is a slave of sin. Commit, abed, slave, abada. In the Aramaic or the Syriac. And then he goes into mistranslations. Examples of mistranslations, Mark 9:49. And everything will be salted with fire, and every sacrifice will be seasoned with salt. That's the Greek version. Salted with fire. Solution, Aramaic word melach can mean salt or destroy. In Aramaic, this also becomes a wordplay on the dual meaning of melach. Examples of mistranslations again. Acts 2:24. Whom God raised up, having loosened the pains of Sheol, because it was not possible that he should be held by it. Greek version. Loosed the pains of death. Solution, Aramaic word kole can mean cords or pains. Evidence from the Old Testament, same word in Hebrew. 2 Samuel 22:6, where the verse reads, the cords of Sheol surrounded me, the snares of death confronted me. Psalms 1163, 1163. The cords of death encompassed me, and the terrors of Sheol came upon me. I found distress and sorrow. So he's saying those mistranslations when compared with the Greek and the Aramaic or the Syriac. Acts 8:23, for I perceive that you are in a gall of bitterness and in the bonds of iniquity. Greek version. Gale of bitterness. Solution, an Aramaic word kabda can mean anger or liver. The gall of bitterness is properly translated bile, a fluid secreted by the liver. In Aramaic psyche, with a mindset, the liver, with a way of expressing it as well, the liver is the organ responsible for bitterness or anger / anger. The verse should be translated in a bitter anger. It's according to Messianic translator Andrew Gabriel Roth. More examples. Give not a holy thing to dogs, and cast not your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you. Greek version. Holy thing. Solution, Aramaic word kucha can mean holy or ring. Instead of give, the Aramaic word talat should be translated hang. The entire verse should be translated, therefore, as do not hang rings on dogs, and cast not your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn against and again and rend you, or probably attack you, or trample you, or whatever. Rend you, yeah, probably attack you. Aramaic version. Okay, now it goes into the syntax. Speed it up a little bit. Example of Semitic syntax. Preposition repetition. A characteristic feature of Semitic grammar is the repetition of a preposition before every noun of a series which it governs. Such a construction is intolerable in literary Greek as it is in English. Example from the Old Testament. Then Joshua came at that time and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua utterly destroyed them with their cities. Joshua 11:21. So it looks like it's a repeated preposition there in that particular language, the Aramaic or the Syriac. More examples of Semitic syntax. Prepositional repetition. Example from the Greek New Testament. Jesus withdrew to the sea with his disciples, and a great multitude from Galilee followed, and also from Judea, and from Jerusalem, and from Idumea, and from beyond the Jordan, and from Tyre, and from Sidon. A great number of people heard all that he was doing and came to him. Mark 3:7-8. Proper Greek and English grammar would be: Jesus withdrew with his disciples to the lake, and a large crowd from Galilee followed. When they heard all he was doing, many people came to him from Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, and the regions across the Jordan and around Tyre and Sidon. New International Version in English, or NIV English. Again, the examples of Semitic syntax, examples of different translation styles. To illustrate this concept a little further, Gabriel Roth, the translator, liked to demonstrate how two different translators approached this problem. If different books were translated from the Aramaic originals into Greek, we would expect that each translator would have different styles and preferences. For instance, one Greek translator may decide that the rules of Greek grammar are more important, while the other translator may decide that he will follow it word for word. That would probably be Victor Nimrud Alexander and this Andrew Gabriel Roth, translating the redundant preposition even at the expense of proper Greek grammar. Examples of different translation styles. The verses in question are synoptic cognates in Matthew 16:21 and Mark 8:31. In Aramaic, Matthew 16:21 reads, "And he would suffer much by the elders and by the high priests." The Greek translator responsible for translating Matthew decided to polish the Greek and avoid the use of the redundant preposition in accordance with proper Greek grammar. And it continues.